I trust a porn star, bruh.
Stormy Daniels, porn star, director, author. Oh yeah, and that girl who shagged Donald Trump.
Shag. That's kind of a sure thing.
Every porn person can't
Shy.
be a star. I never heard of her before.
Make America great again, please.
Stormy is a woman forever recreating herself. Right now, she's taking a turn for the supernatural.
The first thing I do is I shuffle the cards and I say, what message does the universe have for Isobel? And I pull that card and I set it aside.
I ain't doing
because
none of that.
I learned that if there's a message that's
Hey,
supposed to
y'all-
come through for you from...
Yo, y'all ever did the palm reading card things, bruh? Cause, bruh, I ain't never done it, never gonna do it. Fuck that, nigga.
your higher power, there's nothing I can do to stop it.
I feel quite vulnerable. I don't know how I feel about doing this on camera.
I know, I'm really surprised because I've had some messed up stuff come through. So the Dark Lady, she's like the very feminine energy card. This is stepping into your power. This is learning to like the dark side of yourself as well. I love that card. You can dig down in yourself and be
I
like,
love that card.
These are my flaws. These are what I'm gonna work on. I accept them, I embrace them. It's becoming powerful. Like,
Which is good, right?
it's very good.
Okay,
like,
cool. Well, I'm really happy to be sat down with you. I've been watching you from afar and have just been so impressed by how fearless you are and your ability to speak your truth. So I'm really excited. Firstly, is this house haunted?
yes.
Oh, God. How haunted?
Nigga, who lives in a
It's
haunted
pretty
house?
haunted, but it's New Orleans. Everything in New Orleans. You're actually gonna have a harder time finding something that's not haunted in New Orleans. It's the only place I've ever been where if you drive around
The
and
signs
see
say
the for
haunted
sale
on
and
it.
for lease signs that they actually say haunted or not haunted on the real estate signs.
That's so
So how many
wild.
ghosts do you have in here?
I don't know, I haven't counted. I've only been here a month.
Oh, my God. Do you not want to get somewhere that's advertised as not haunted?
Nah, real talk though. A haunted house, like, yo, why are you there? Hey, y'all do you. Do you, boo-boo?
No, I'm used to it. I mean, I'm a paranormal investigator, so as long as they're nice, it's fine.
Moving into her haunted house is a homecoming for Stormy. Louisiana is where she's from.
I wanted to rewind back a little bit to the early days. You grew up in Louisiana, here, not far from here.
I grew up about an hour north of here, born and raised. My parents split up when I was 4. I had no hard feelings against my dad. I would see him once a year or whatever. My mom was not a mom. She would disappear for weeks at a time. The house was disgusting. I had scars on my legs from the roaches and stuff like that. I wish I could say that she was an alcoholic or a drug addict, because at least that gives a reason. But I never saw my mom drunk. She didn't have any known addictions.
It sounds like a difficult childhood.
Yeah, it sucked. It sucked a lot.
In her memoir, Stormy wrote that from the age of
That's sad,
9,
eh?
she was repeatedly sexually assaulted by a neighbor. It
Damn.
went on for 2 years.
Damn.
When she eventually spoke up about it, she wasn't believed.
One thing that struck me in the book was you did try and tell people. You told your mum and you told your school counsellor at the time,
Yeah.
and they didn't believe you. If I'm searching for themes in the story
That's
of Stormy
messed up,
Daniels,
bruh.
it seems like that is somewhat of a theme that, people don't always believe you.
Right. Back then, I was so young. It was just because we were white trash. Like, we were just trash. And my mom was a train wreck, and my clothes didn't fit, and I was poor, and I smelled, and, like, had an inhaler, and, like, no one ever liked me. I mean, there's just something about me. So they didn't believe me. And then later, just, people never believe somebody in the adult industry, which is ironic, because I'm probably the most honest person you'll ever meet.
Even with everything going on, Stormy was a straight A student, an editor of her high school newspaper. But living with her mother grew unbearable. At 17, Stormy moved out and began stripping to support herself.
Were you enjoying it?
Throwing that ass, 17.
Yes, because I was already a dancer. Like, I was on the dance team at school. I love to dance. I still love to dance. My body doesn't agree with it as much anymore. I got a little hail damage, but I was more of a burlesque dancer than just a straight stripper. Like, my butt's not big enough to crawl around the floor and make my ass clap. Like, I have to put a little something into it. I've always been comfortable with my body. I've always been comfortable expressing myself. So it was really great because it was the only job that I could find where I didn't have to drop out of high school. And I made enough money working Friday and Saturday nights to eat and not have to sell my horse. All I ever spent money on was horses. Like, I don't have designer handbags or shoes. Like, it's not really, I wear Vans and I have the same purse for 3 years.
After high school, Stormy kept dancing. She began headlining shows at strip clubs across the country. A few years later, she was approached.
How do you become like a big stripper, bro? Like, you had to like be out there sucking some mean dick or something. Out of all the strippers, you'd be like, oh yeah, let's get her to headline shit. Nigga, how?
Adult film star who introduced her to a new world.
Make yourself comfortable.
In 2002, Stormy began her career in porn.
2002?
And went on to sign a contract with the studio Wicked Pictures.
You went to work in a strip club and then you got into porn later on. I mean, I guess one thing that would stop people like myself going into that industry would just be like the pure fear over what everyone else would think.
I didn't have anybody to think about. I'm an only child. I have zero family, you know, like I had nothing to lose.
Yeah,
When you were in the porn industry, obviously you were a very successful performer, writer, director. Were you happy during those days?
I think as a kid, when I used to watch Hello Porn, like when I was like 13, 12, yeah, I was crazy with it, bro. I think I watched a couple of her porns, bro.
I loved it. And it wasn't the performing. I mean, yes, let's be honest. You get to have sex with beautiful people who kind of know what they're doing. But I wrote all my own scripts and I directed almost all my own movies. And I love writing and directing. Like, directing is my passion. And I'm really good at it. I'm not even afraid to say it.
Stormy became an adult icon. As her success grew, she began pursuing more mainstream work, appearing in The 40-Year-Old Virgin, Knocked Up, and a Maroon 5 music video.
You were directing very successfully. You dabbled in the mainstream comedy film industry as well.
She doing it all.
What was the plan?
My end goal was to direct music videos and horror movies and like get out of the industry. I was on the way of where I want it to be. All of that stuff is gone.
Okay, here's the part where we talk about someone who you probably haven't talked much about.
The orange elephant in the room, obviously.
The orange
In
elephant.
2006, while Stormy was working at a celebrity golf tournament, she met Donald Trump. She says that he invited her to his hotel room for dinner, where he made an enticing offer. He told her he'd get her a place on his show, The Celebrity Apprentice. It was just the kind of opportunity that Stormy was looking for.
Shit started getting real spicy. Let's get it.
Why is it that you wanted to be on Celebrity Apprentice so much?
Because he pitched it the best. He was like, people need to know that like, you're not just big boobs and blonde hair, that you're really smart and funny, and that's what I wanted.
So you wanted to do it to kind of prove yourself and for people to realize that you're smart?
Yeah. And I was tired of people thinking, oh, she doesn't even direct her movies. I bet she's an idiot in real life. It would have been a great opportunity to do that.
Would you have slept with him if he hadn't been promising Celebrity Apprentice?
No, absolutely not.
How do you feel about that specific night now that you look back at everything that's
Nauseous.
happened?
I mean, it's pretty terrible. Like, and I really struggle with that. I had an ex a long time ago that was great at his little pearls of wisdom, and he used to say all the time, put yourself in a bad situation and bad things happen. I have nobody to blame but myself. I guess I was just naive because it was not a proposition for sex. It was, let's have dinner and talk business. And nowhere in that conversation did I think he was coming on to me until I went to the bathroom and came out and he was there. He stood up and blocked me. I never, and I will tell you right now, I still never felt like I was in any physical danger.
But he did physically block you.
He just like jumped up to continue the conversation. He never put his hands on me like that. I was never physically restrained. I was never pushed, nothing like that. But he was just like, well, this is your chance to prove, like, he's like, all you've talked about is how bad you want something. Guy hires X amount of people all the time. You have to show me that you will do whatever it takes. And I honestly think I just blacked out of that.
I already know what happened. This is what happened, bro. She come out the bathroom. She ain't say it how she really wanted to say it. She come out the bathroom. Man, my nigga was already naked, bro. He was already naked, bro. He was like, so, you know, a lot of people say they want to do a lot of things and they want to be on the show. You ain't the only one. What you willing to do? What are you willing to do? You feel me? That nigga talk like that. What are you willing to do to be on my show? You feel me? that nigga be like, that's the most idiotic thing in this America. God bless America. That nigga was naked when she came out the bathroom, bro. He was already ready. That nigga was like, I already popped my Viagra. I popped it before the conversation started. Take about 40 minutes before that motherfucker hit. And when that shit hit, that nigga was ready to go.
And these are details that have only come to you recently?
Yeah, and then I remembered some of the things he said, and I just had my own ego, I guess. I blocked it out. Because like, if you want to be a real director, are you just gonna go back and live in the trailer park? And I wanted to be a director.
So now that you look back at that night, was it consensual?
I never said no.
You never said no?
I never said no.
But you also weren't jumping on him?
No.
So not enthusiastically consensual?
No.
After that night, Stormy claims Trump
Look at this
continued to
nigga,
call
bruh.
and text her for a year, dangling the apprentice opportunity in front of her. How much does it bother you that, I guess, you
Hey, so
are
how
going to
many
be
times
known
did he
as that
smash?
person who slept with Donald Trump?
Probably just as much as it would bother anybody. Nobody wants that. I was like, of all the people, why did it have to be him? Like, there were some pretty hot celebrities I slept with too, and no, I won't tell you who. Imagine like the worst sexual experience you've ever had in your life, and that's the one on TV.
She did this of her own accord. She went up to his hotel room.
Unprotected
It was
sex
consensual
with him?
between two adults. I'm hearing a lot of the private
Damn,
salacious
okay.
details.
This is not the first episode of President Trump doing that, but this is probably in some ways the most vivid example.
Stormy's affair remained a
down.
secret for 10 years. But as the 2016 presidential election approached, she started getting calls from the media. Instead of speaking up, she chose to accept $130,000 from Trump's lawyer, Michael Cohen. She signed a non-disclosure agreement
it?
so the story would never see the light of day.
Do you think that it would have made any difference if you'd spoken up, before
She
he was
should ask for a
president
meal
about...
at least.
I just look like a gold digger. Even if I had come forward before the election, why would I do that? Who cares where he stuck his penis? I was perfectly happy to say nothing. I don't like to kiss and tell, but I'm not okay lying.
In 2018, Stormy's affair with Trump was revealed to the world when the Wall Street Journal published a story that exposed details about
That's
that
it,
NDA
though?
she'd signed. The Democrats claimed the payment was against campaign finance laws, and suddenly Stormy's secret became a weapon in the presidential campaign.
So fast forward to 2018, when you did speak up, you seem as, someone who's incredibly fearless and proud to be able to speak your own truth, but it must have been scary to...
It was terrifying. I got shot at. I thought, my daughter got taken away. I lost all my friends. I lost my husband.
How do you lose your husband? First of all, that nigga a clown because, nigga, she had over 100, 200, 300, 400 dicks already in her, nigga, before you married her. So you telling me one other dick got in her, bro, and all of a sudden you like, oh, hell nah, nigga, what? Nah, I filed for a divorce. I didn't know this nigga dick was in you.
That was going to happen though, right?
No, I'm not an idiot. I knew there was going to be definitely some
Pushback.
Yeah, but I didn't think that it was going to be as bad as it was.
Stormy's entire world was turned upside down.
So you weren't able to continue directing after all that. You were able to continue dancing, right?
I did keep dancing. I did get paid a lot more money for it.
You have a lot of people who are
Making
calling
America
you
horny again.
calling you a liar, calling you
Dang.
a gold digger.
People thought I did it to further my career. No, it ruined my career. I don't have the career that I spent over 10 years building.
Do you still feel like it was the right thing?
It was the only thing. I don't have a choice. I can't not tell the truth.
Stormy claims she was surprised at the level at which she was targeted.
Do you feel like there's been times where he's instructed people or where you feel like there's been indirect ways that he's come after
Absolutely.
you?
I got falsely arrested in Ohio.
In 2018, Stormy was stripping in Ohio. After her show, she was arrested by police officers who charged her with 3 misdemeanors.
Watch your head going in, okay?
It's demeanors, bro. Those don't
They
even stick.
were Trump supporters. To my knowledge, he didn't call up the police department and tell them to do it, but he incites his followers. He encourages people to do f***ed up shit. And they orchestrated a plan to arrest me 2 weeks before I even got into town. It was straight up entrapment.
She sued the city for $2 million and won a settlement.
Oh, she won. She cashed out. You go, girl. You go, girl. She blonde, but she ain't a dumb blonde. You get that bread, nigga. She always been about her bread, nigga. Get that shit.
But her arrest in Ohio came back to haunt her.
Fast forward then to 2020 and you were on your way to Canada to perform at a comedy club.
I have a sold out show in Canada, in Calgary, and I'm going through and I get stopped at the border. And I'm like, probably the charge from Ohio hasn't come off yet. I had documentation. I was like, oh, let me guess, this is about Ohio. And the guy's like, yes, it is. I'm like, okay, I won that case. Here's my proof. Like, it just hasn't come off. And here's my documentation. He's like, yeah, I see that. He goes, what about these other 16 or 17 charges? I was like, excuse me, what? He was like, there's a flag here. Your FBI record comes up. I need to turn you in. I was like, turn me in for what?
Bro, what?
I don't even have a speeding ticket.
Stormy secretly recorded the exchange on her phone.
So this is occurrence 8, assault. Okay.
Assault?
Disposition is convicted. Obstruction of official business, convicted. Violation of protection order. Convicted. Confinement 180 days.
It says I was in jail for 180 days.
Well, no. This is the sentence. Number 10, violation of protection order. Number 11, another violation of protection order. That one was dismissed.
I mean, it was insane.
Pretty serious
She like she
charges.
got
And
a
he
real
goes, you have a
motherfucking
rap sheet
criminal
longer
record,
than Bonnie
nigga.
and Clyde. And I was like, do you know who I am? I'm Stormy Daniels. Do you know who that is? And he's like, I'm figuring it out. And I said, if I had done even one of these things, it would be all over the news, much less 17 of them.
Border Patrol allowed Stormy into Canada using a temporary residency permit, which Vice was able to obtain.
That's crazy.
We spoke with Stormy's attorney, Clark Brewster, who confirmed her account and explained that after this incident, he encouraged her to exercise extreme caution to avoid interaction with law enforcement.
So I just stayed in my house for like months, my very haunted house.
Neither Stormy or her lawyer can say who put these alleged charges on her file.
Crazy, bro.
But it had to be someone who could get into the National Crimes Database,
Somebody
which
up
is only
there.
accessible to law enforcement and those who have oversight of them.
Your theory is that Trump or someone connected to him possibly...
I mean, I'm not saying it was Trump. That's actually maybe giving me a little bit too much credit. He'd have to know how to open a computer for something other than Twitter. But I mean, who else would have such a problem with me that they would go through that much trouble? I mean, that's not ex-boyfriend status. That's next level.
And why is it you want to talk about it now?
Shit, though.
Because people need to know.
Or cult
Do you
followers.
feel like no one wants to
Feel
listen
me?
because Trump is no longer in power?
That's a big part too. Yeah, people just want to move on. Trust me.
Are you
I wish
mad
I could
about that?
too.
Are you mad that people
I'm
have moved
super
on?
mad about it. I'm really mad about it because I was like, I set my entire existence, my whole life on fire to stand up for our country and for people and women and to do the right thing. And now they're like, Trump's out of office. Peace out, Stormy. And I'm like, no, I'm still here. Like, I still have a kid to feed. I can't get a job.
But I guess my question is, what did you expect? I mean, did you expect more from people? Did you expect more
I expected
support? Did you
people to be
expect
better.
Do you feel like you're collateral damage?
Absolutely, 100%.
Stormy's choice to speak out about her experience with Trump set off ongoing legal battles.
How many lawsuits is it that you have?
Oh gosh,
ongoing
I
at
don't
the
know.
moment?
I don't know.
I mean, why is it that you don't just let that go?
Because I'm not a liar. And I'm not giving him a f***ing penny. I will take everything I own out into the yard and set fire to it and live in a cardboard box under an overpass before he gets a dime out of me.
She ain't playing
What's
that
happened
shit.
since 2018 continues to haunt Stormy. Now, she's taking a break from the world of the living and creating a TV show called Spooky Babes, spending her time investigating paranormal activity.
The original structure of this building, does it have a long hallway that you can look down from?
Yeah.
I hear little kids running down a long hallway.
Bro, what?
It's a little boy that I saw in the nightshirt that was coughing up stuff.
Do you think that, because of that unique stress that you went through for those couple of years, that is, the main kind of reason that you found, paranormal activities?
I think it was no pun intended, it was just sort of a perfect storm.
The room that has the drawing on the wall,
Yeah, the seance room.
that thing that was following, that's not human. Hi, I'm Stormy.
I'm Justin.
If you're here, just know we're not here to harm you. We will not ask you to leave. We just want to know if you have anything you would like to say to us. Make your presence known. If you could make a sound, touch one of us.
I'd say if you could not touch Isobel, that would be great. It's quite a transition to go from a performer in the adult film industry, a writer, a director, to doing paranormal investigations.
It's pretty hard to shock me. I've seen it all. And I always have people ask me, like, aren't you scared? And I'm like, I saw Trump naked. Nothing scares me. It can't be any worse than what I've already seen.
Do you enjoy the thrill of it?
I do, actually. And it all started because I have always kind of had crazy things happen to me my whole life. Intuition, it just depends on if you listen to it or not. And when I was dancing and working in clubs, I always would have like this gut feeling about certain customers. Like a guy would come up and he would seem fine, he dressed nice, all the things that strippers look for. Like, he didn't seem creepy. Sometimes I would just get like a feeling about somebody and I would say no. And without fail, that was the guy at the end of the night who like ended up smacking a girl or like pulling his junk out
very
or like
useful
or leaving without paying his bill, stiffing the dancer. Like, the universe has always just kind of taken care of me in that way.
I mean, as a business, is it lucrative?
Spooky Babes is entirely self-financed. I paid for it. That's how much I believed in this. And people are like, oh, she's doing it to get attention. Actually, it's the worst thing I could do while I have open court cases against the president to come out and be like, I see dead people and hear voices. Like, that's probably not the smartest thing that I could do.
I mean, given, you know, all that's going on and your ongoing lawsuits, etc., do you worry that, you know, it might discredit you as a truth teller?
I think it would discredit me if I didn't come forward because this is the truth. I mean, I lived it.
Do you feel fulfilled with your work that you're able to do?
No, because people are still gatekeeping. A lot of people try to keep us out. I do love it, but I do also really miss writing and directing.
Whether you believe what she believes or not, Stormy says she doesn't care. She's used to being disbelieved.
What do you think it would take for people to kind of move on?
It doesn't matter if I go on to direct the next Star Wars movie. I'm still the girl who f***ed Trump. You know, like, I made that choice. I'm fine with being known for that. But I mean, it's a thing. Like, I'll probably die alone. And I've kind of accepted it.
Seems like you've come up against some bad sides of humanity.
I don't like people.
Yeah.
That's why I hang out with the dead now.
Would you describe yourself as happy?
I'm entertained. It's never boring. I have led a very amazing life. And I still do.
Do you still feel underestimated?
Every day, but I like it.